Alright, welcome back everyone to the OC Catch World Cup. My name is Quinton. I am joined by Maito, my Australian partner. The two of us, definitely the early birds from the commentary booth. And we will be casting China versus Indonesia for you guys. The very first winner bracket semi-final matchup. So on your team red side, China, on the team blue side, Indonesia. And the winner of this match is guaranteed podium. So a lot at stake for both of these teams. And I'm definitely looking forward to this one. How are you doing, Maito, on this somewhat less warm Sunday morning here in Europe? I'm sure it's still definitely freezing back there in Australia.
Yeah, it's actually been surprisingly a pretty nice day. The sun has been out for like the first time in a couple of days, which is nice. But moving on to the actual match, I am very excited for this one, and there has been some interesting things happening behind the scenes within the last couple of minutes for this. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on with the rosters for each team. But yeah, I think that's definitely going to play a part depending on what happens like within the next 10 minutes or so for this match. A lot of people might be surprised by some certain things that could happen.
No, I have confirmation that all Chinese players are here, in fact, Maito. Dusk already joined the lobby and they're asking for Kalyan as well. Indonesia has not moved Madoka just yet, but I do believe they should be present. Either way, we see China losing the role. They get a 15-roll, Connector gets a 60. So China to ban first, Indonesia to ban second, and pick first. But the rest of China has joined, so it looked a little shaky, but the entire team is here, which is going to just create an even more hype match. We see Harter 2 getting banned, which is an interesting ban. I don't think that map has been banned by any team just yet, given how it is one of the, I would say, easier maps from the hardcore pool, at least more conventional rather, but that might just exactly be the reason why China wants to take it away, given how they have Indonesia has like the two powerhouse being Tika and Atamaru, and then the four other players are just shuffling around, filling up where needed. On the other side, China, I think they're four outstanding players being Dusk, Crystal, Cover, and Kalyanet, and then the other two, Kitakami, primarily used for hidden, and then Kagamine Rin. I don't think we've seen Kagamine Rin play a single map yet in this tournament, perhaps in the round of 32, but I think they'll be looking towards putting him in for Hard Rock. And we see High Hidden Tree getting banned immediately by Indonesia, so Low AR Hidden getting taken away, and we see Nomad 1 getting picked. So we start off with the Consistency Wiggle Nomad map, which we yesterday saw a triple FC coming in from France, which was beautiful and a sight to behold. But interesting things coming out. So I was about to comment, I don't think, well, both these teams have really strong hidden rosters, which is something to note. And the fact that Indonesia is banning one of those hidden maps perhaps indicate they feel just a tiny bit weaker on hidden. I think on every other mob bracket, it seems relatively even. It's really map dependent, I would say.
Yeah, both of these teams are incredibly strong. Obviously, China, they are that number 1 seed, and Indonesia number 4. So they are both in contention to even take home the victory, or at least definitely place on the podium for this tournament. I think for most people, that's what they would predict when they looked at the teams coming into this Catch World Cup. So yeah, I do think that's why this is a really exciting match. And that thing that you pointed out with Indonesia banning hidden, maybe China can exploit a little bit of a weakness coming from there. But obviously, as well, something that you noted was these teams basically have every single mod sorted out in terms of really strong players. So yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty close match.
Definitely. We see the 3 Cs coming in for China, Crystal, Covert, Kalyanet, and then on the Indonesian side, Netamar and Diga, and then joined by, I believe they pronounce it Lewind or Lewind. I'm not too sure. I mostly say Lewind, but I've heard other commentators say Lewind. Either way, about this map, the beginning 500 combo is relatively easy. Obviously, it's subjectively, but I think most of these players should be able to get to 500 combat after, actually, as soon as I say that Lewind ends up being the first draw for Indonesia. And then after 400 combo, I believe there's, at the ending of that really long slider, then it's where it gets it picks up the pace, and the wiggles just never stop going from there on. But early advance for China, that miss was around 130 combos, so it's about 0.8 of a miss in favor of China. So any miss from China will switch it back in favor of Indonesia, given how the scoring system in Catch V2 in Catch is that it is capped at 200. So any note caught after 200 combo, it just counts as how would you say it's equally
Maximum score.
Maximum score, yeah. Thank you. But now this is a Slido, and now it starts, and you can clearly see the wiggles get a little harder, the patterns get a little. They get more intense, and Cobra is the first to drop on the Chinese side, actually, and that's going to switch things back in favor of Indonesia.
Yeah, China did take that early advantage now, but still the score lead is incredibly close, just in that Chinese favor. But it's actually flickering over to the Indonesian side now. So despite that early miss from Lewind, they have gained a nice combo, and the rest of the Indonesians are still holding those FCs past 700 combo. 2 FCs coming from the side of China as well, through Crystal and Kellyanette. But yeah, right now this is incredibly close. Whoever drops is going to give the advantage back to the other team, or extend Indonesia's lead right now if there's a miss coming in from China. But right now everyone's looking to be holding through these wiggles, and no drops so far. Kovia making it nice recovery back, and still no misses. Dika, Nanamaru, Crystal and Kellyanette all still holding those FCs past 1,000, but oh no, the wind has dropped, so that is going to give the advantage immediately back to the Chinese side. Now all of them passed way up above 200 combo, and Lewin needs to come back now. There is still a lot of time and Bancho lag, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's still time for them to come back, and this is not exactly the best time for Bancho to be doing this.
There's definitely a lot of time to come back, but the Chinese trio seems really, really confident. And the fact is that, I mean, a team like France was able to triple FC this, so it's kind of unlikely for China to find more misses, I would say. Canada and Crystal just seem to be cruising through this map. On the other side, Dika and Natmar being stuck, actually, but we can assume he's still holding on to that double S, given how he's, I believe, the second best player in the world or third best player in the ranking. So, but China needs to find another miss for Indonesia to get any way back. And actually, Crystal the one dropping, so this is getting really, really close. Actually, it's depending on whether or not that Mars able to hold on to that double S, but you can assume he is, given off his skill level. But Dika and Lewines need to hold on as well, and I think it's going to get really, really close. It might just be slightly in Chinese favor, given out the fact that Lewine missed 3 times and China only missed 2 times. But Crystal dropping once, but that's definitely going to switch things back in favor of Indonesia. And this is all depending on whether or not that Mars is holding on to that double S, because if he is, then that is a point for Indonesia, actually. So this is, yeah, once again, we're on the end, so to say that we have no clue what's going to be happening. The slow section, no one should miss here. Dika getting a beautiful double S, same with Cali, and actually go with the 1 miss, Chris with the 2 miss, Lewine with the 3 miss, and I think that if Netamaru held on there, if he did not, I think he
might
did
be an Indonesia advantage.
It should.
I have no idea what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the disconnect.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I will explain that. So basically, if someone disconnects and they keep playing the map, they can provide a screenshot of their recent score, and that will be counted. If it was, obviously they can't provide a earlier score, it has to be the score now. So if Nanamaru can provide a screenshot that they finished the map and it is enough to get Indonesia over the line, Indonesia will actually be able to take this first point, but we will have to see. This is basically a waiting game. Did Netamaru hold on or not?
If Netamaru did not miss, then this is definitely Indonesia's point.
Yeah,
I think even with a miss in like the last one with Kam, would still an Indonesian point, but we'll have to wait for that. Netamaru got electric cut. That is somewhat unfortunate. None of them can in fact get an in-game screenshot. Except for Netamaru, so we'll have to wait for that. Either way, I think this was a really, really competitive pick. And the fact that Crystal and Covey who have been probably the 2 best players in the Chinese side, dropping that is an indication of perhaps some nerve or something. Because I would say this is definitely the first match for China where the opponent seems really, 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 really strong. And I mean, France is also really strong, but I think Indonesia is still of a different caliber, I would say.
Yes, and if you are checking the match feed right now, there is some seriously bizarre stuff going on if you click on that multiplayer link. It seems that Neta did disconnect but two of the Chinese players, I think that was Crystal and Kovia, also disconnected. So yeah, there are some very strange things happening in this match right now. I am just as confused as everyone else. I am not sure. It seemed like the real problem here was Netamaru disconnecting, but now the Chinese team is also disconnect. Oh no, there's the there is a screenshot that has been provided behind the scenes, so it does look like everyone finished the match.
I think we're waiting for just Netamaru.
Yeah. That is very bizarre, though, that multiplayer thing. That's, I guess it's just a glitch. Damn.
Yeah, it happens.
Sorry about the confusion.
We're just waiting for Netamaru's score if he was able to finish the map. If it was electric outrage, I think if the electric gets cut, then your charger doesn't charge anymore, and if he's playing on a laptop or on a PC, then he'll just... that's not looking too great for them, but we'll have to see. Whenever he manages to come back, hopefully there is no longer any issues on the Indonesian side, because that would overshadow this match. Is definitely something I would personally not want whatsoever. On the other hand, we still are waiting for China's pick, and I'm quite surprised to see. Okay, they go for Nomad 4, so we stay in the Nomad bracket. And that is interesting, in my opinion. I was not expecting Nomad 4. I was expecting, as you said, I think they have a small advantage on Hidden, so we were expecting something in the Hidden bracket, actually.
Yeah, that is a bit of an interesting choice there. I guess China is feeling alright after that Nomad pick. Kelly and Ed obviously pulling out that double S, which is a very nice play. So, yeah, I mean, obviously this map is very different from Nomad 1, considering that it's a convert. And I guess it's pretty jumpy, and it's not kind of like that wiggly map that we had for Nomad 1. So definitely a different kind of map, but obviously, as we've said a lot by now, it's probably getting a bit tiring. China's entire squad is just absolutely packed full of skill. So I don't really think there's too many maps where they feel a huge weakness against Indonesia, and I think Indonesia probably has just that little bit of a weakness on Hidden, but not going to be seeing that just yet. China going for that Nomad 4.
Yeah, somewhat interesting. I think both of us can agree on that. I'm still somewhat figuring out whether or not Netamaru is able to finish the map, but it does seem like he was not able to do so. So that's unfortunate, because I think that was Indonesia's point, if he was able to do so. So that is... either way, those things happen. It's unfortunate. It's very important for Indonesia to just mental reset, to not think about it anymore. The point is over, and to continue forward. With this Nomad 4 pick, I think this is still well within range for Indonesia as well. I think this is one of the picks that is, I would say, somewhat RNG. There's some really, really rough jumps and memory jumps in there, and others can just trip those up. So curious to see where this is going to go.
Yeah, that is obviously a pretty big, I guess, kind of a mental setback when one of your players disconnects and you are in definite contention to win that point there. It's just really unlucky, but as you said, you have to move forward. You have to just not think about it. The point is gone. There's no point in thinking about it anymore. Sorry for that pun. That was a bad pun.
Yeah, but indeed, you're definitely right. They have to, just, I would say, mental reset, right? And we'll see after that. I mean, it's only the first pick of the match, right? If it were like the 12th pick in a best of 13, it would be really, really demotivating. But I think in this first point, it's all right. It's unfortunate, but they can still manage around. There's plenty of maps to pick and to win on, so no big deal just yet.
Yeah, so I guess we should probably talk a little bit about the map. It's Tome Elegy, which is a song that I'm sure everyone in the Osu community is very aware of. It's a very famous song, and mapped also by a very famous mapper, Sotax. If you played Standard for more than 5 seconds, you probably know who he is. So
I
yeah,
didn't.
definitely a well-known map.
I didn't know we had Swordars in CTB. This is like the first time. But yeah.
Love to see it, or hate
play,
to see it.
yeah. Obviously, this is a converted difficulty, so it's a convert, and you'll see that in patterns. There's some really wide jumps in there. And I think Calumet in particular is one of the players that's really good at those types of patterns. And that's why I think China just went for these types of maps. Canada also being the only FC in that wiggle map that we just played. And this map being, yeah, it's convert, but it's also, I mean, wide jumps is wiggly once again, so makes sense.
Yeah, there is seem to be a continuous kind of connection issue from the side of Indonesia. Now Dika, I think, having a few internet problems as well. So we are taking a bit to get this second pick underway. Apologies for that. This is obviously not what anyone wants. I mean, you don't want to have a bunch of internet issues and kind of might ruin that mindset a little bit, or that concentration when you're trying to get back into the lobby. So a little bit of unlucky things coming from this side of Indonesia and possibly even China. They don't seem to have a third player in the lobby currently right now. It looks like just Netamaru. Oh, well, as I say that, nope, never mind, it was Dika. So yeah, 3 Indonesian players back.
Yeah, Calumet also having some small issues. Also interesting to note is the fact that we still have not seen Dusk. He just, I would say, I mean, on paper you would put Dusk in the top 3 from China, but he has not been playing in this match, but also not a lot of the tournament actually. So I already hypothesized about it. Either he's really rusted, he hasn't really played much in the past year, and he just doesn't feel as comfortable in comparison to his teammates, or he feels like his teammates need, or they just got it right. They don't need him to play, because I mean, Dusk is the most experienced Chinese player. He's been playing for, I think this is his 10th CDBC or 9th, which is in its own is really mind-boggling. And he's been their carry for year after year after year, right? And then it's scary. I don't know. I haven't communicated with the Chinese player, so I'm not sure what the reasoning behind it is, but it's something to look out for. Still no Dusk to be seen. We see Kern Echo actually making their debut in this match on the Nomad 4 pick, subbing out Lewins, who also performed relatively nicely in that Nomad 1. But Koneko perhaps more of a convert player. So, and Cover being the first to drop is going to give us very tiny advance in favor of Indonesia. But this map is relatively long, 2 minutes 44, and it is, well, it has some memory jumps, and I'm not going to assume that everyone is going to catch those.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're probably going to see a few players mess up on those jumps that are coming in the not so distant future. Currently, though, still seeing that triple double S coming from the Indonesian side. The start of this map is very chill. There's not really too many places to mess up. I think Kovia, just a little bit of an unlucky miss there. But obviously the advantage for Indonesia is incredibly small. But we're going to see another miss there from Kovia, but traded by Dika. So Indonesia keeps that advantage, although it is very slim. Still seeing a 4-way FC coming from Neda, Kroneko, Calumet, and Crystal. But here we go. The first kind of a bit more of a difficult section. No one... Oh, okay, we're going to see a double miss coming from the Indonesian side, and a miss coming from Calumet. So that is going to flip the lead back over to China. A miss there from Calumet again, but this score lead right now is still incredibly close. We're still seeing that FC coming from Kroneko and Crystal, but no, Kroneko misses on those really difficult jumps. Everyone going down there.
You see quite a lot of misses coming in from all players, actually, except for Crystal, and that's the difference maker right now. And that's 30,000 point advance in favor of China. But Crystal ends up dropping, but DK Kroneko is trading, and Kanada dropping as well. But Kobe versus Netamaru, but Netamaru has a combo advance, and Kobe is not above 200 combo, so that is combo advance in favor of Indonesia, but they need one more miss, and that's coming from DK, and that's not what they need. DK definitely struggling, trailing behind by 100,000 points on his teammates, actually. So if DK can step up at the end of this map, this should get really close in the end, actually.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good chances here for Indonesia to come back. They just need to stabilize their combo a little bit, remain consistent, and just pray for some Chinese misses right now. But that is not what's happening. Dika finding another miss again. Netamaru does have a really nice combo, higher than anyone else in the lobby currently. but needs his other players to kind of lift right now, and that is not what's going to happen. The lead is slightly extending for that China, and now Netamaru drops. The entire rest of the field, unfortunately, hitting those jumps, but Indonesia just not. Netamaru just not able to get that, and that combo going down is going to give China that little last boost they need to feel comfortable in getting over the finish line for this one.
Definitely, China should have this one wrapped up, and there we go. That's a 117,000 score victory. But to be honest, it was seeming really, really shaky until it wasn't at the end, right? I think DK in particular was slurring a little bit more than he would have hoped for, and that was definitely a difference maker for this one. But that was actually a really competitive pick from both sides. A lot of misses, to be fair. I'm curious to see where Indonesia is going to be taking this. There's still 2 nomads left, and then everything else from the pool is also still left, so they might just opt for a different mob bracket. The thing is, though, they could have, or should have, or would have. All of these hypotheses would have won Nomad 1 if the Tamar stayed in, so they might just opt for Nomad 2. On the other hand, there's still hard to left double time. Mixed mod, I think, is also a mob bracket where Indonesia can definitely shine, but on the other hand, I think China's specialists are also on the very highest level, so curious to see where Indonesia is going to be taking this. And they are going to take a timeout, so that is an early timeout coming from Indonesia, which is interesting. Perhaps some issues on their side, keyboard issues or connections, or they just need to take their time to think this through. Because the thing is, giving China 2 breakpoints early, that is not something you want to see if you are the Indonesian team. So this pick is quite important. It could change the entire dynamic of this match.
Yeah, that early timeout is an interesting choice coming from the Indonesian side, but I guess maybe just needing a little bit more time to kind of stabilize their teams. That first point, obviously, and maybe still a little bit of uncertainty considering their position in the match right now. Obviously, they are an incredibly strong team and they have lots of chances. Already this match has been super close. That last pick, it was basically anyone's game up until only the last few couple of, I guess, like 10 seconds or so.
Yeah, something like that. Match. I think the last quarter or something. Yeah.
Around that.
It has been really competitive up till now. I think Indonesia has just sadly been on the wrong side of the coin for now, and this pick is important to get themselves on the board, right? Get at least points going, and then from there on out, it's easier to get more points. But yeah, as we said, where do they want to take this? They are a good hidden team, but are they willing to take on China? Not debatable. They are a good hardware team, but are they willing to take on China? Also debatable. And we can make the case for any mob bracket right now. So I think the important part here is to pick what you are really comfortable on, and not pick what you think they are not really comfortable on. Because the thing is, in reality, China is going to be quite confident on any of these maps. So you got to look at your own strengths instead of the opponent's weaknesses. Opponent's weaknesses are used a lot in matchups where one team is slightly more skilled than the other. And there's like clear weaknesses that can be abused. Like this today, France versus Germany. I think France just picked 4 double time maps in a row and won all of them. But I don't think Indonesia or China, either of these teams, can do such a strategy given how they are so evenly matched.
Yeah, obviously, Indonesia has to face China on something, and they are going to go for Hard Rock 1. So still everyone avoiding that hidden pool, which is a bit interesting. So I guess this kind of Hard Rock, this is actually a pretty tough map. The CS is really high, so I guess Indonesia have done their practice on this one, and they're hoping to finally get that point on the board after a bit of a rocky start, as we've mentioned, and obviously if you've seen with those connection issues and stuff like that. So yeah, this is a pretty tough map. I think it's the highest start rating in the entire pool, so that kind of gives you a little bit of a glimpse. If you haven't watched any of the previous matches, this is pretty tough. The CS is 6.1, and it's also pretty short, only 2 minutes 13 in length. So not a lot of opportunity to mess up, and Indonesia really need to maintain that hard rock consistency to get their first point on the board here.
Definitely. We see Dusk coming in for his first map of the day. So Dusk is here. He's back. His 10th CWC appearance. If I checked it, I looked it up. So that's absolutely insane. On the other side, Koneko, Netamara, and Dika staying. I think that's a little bit expected. Netamara and Dika definitely going to be staying in for all Malbecs, except for Hidden, perhaps. Netamara doesn't really play Hidden, I do believe. And then Koneko is most of the time their speed filled and their counters fill, and then Lewin perhaps for Nomad and perhaps for Hidden as well. We'll have to see on that for later on in the match. But this map, yeah, as you said, is really short when it's a sprint, this one. And the CS is definitely the hardest part about it. It can catch people off guard. It does seem that all players do seem really comfortable. Actually, it does be the first to drop, so that's going to give an advantage towards Indonesia. But this was right before exploding the Connect Bets trading, and I think that should slightly, but Crystal dropping is not going to favor China anymore, never mind. And that's going to give advantage towards Indonesia. The full team is actually coming from the Chinese roster. Look at that scorebar loading up already, 80,000 scoring. And Dika and Tamar, the two carries for Indonesia, doing their thing right now, only according to this map, but this is looking promising. That's missing once more. That's not what China needs or wants.
Yeah, there is a miss coming there from Koneko, but the entire Chinese side from Dusk and Crystal is really struggling. And Netamara and Dika, although Dika did finally find a miss there, Netamara is looking so comfortable on this. Half of the map is gone, still holding onto that double S. Crystal and Dusk having a super hard time. Dusk below 98%, finally getting above it there. And yeah, it seems that Indonesia is doing exactly what they need and what they want for this pick. Kovia also finding a miss there. None of the players on the Chinese side able to get too much combo going right now, and Indonesia's lead is already out past 200,000 score. Netamara is still holding that double S, absolutely carrying Indonesia through right now, but China not helping themselves at all, just not able to find that consistency. And as I mentioned just before the map begun, Indonesia needed to bring out that Hydro consistency. That's exactly what they've done right now, and yeah, looking like they are going to be able to close this out pretty comfortably. Dika now up above 200 as well. Koneko also finding a few misses, but the Chinese side is just finding way more, and with only a tiny bit of map left, the lead already out past 250,000 score. That is going to seal the deal, and Indonesia finally, after that little bit of a rocky start, is going to get their first point on the board. Absolutely what they needed, and yeah, a really good comeback from them.
Yeah, all eyes on the Tamar right now, right? With the only FC in the lobby. Vika being the second best player in the lobby, so definitely those two. Koneko also with a really decent score, but what really surprised me is the fact that Dusk was bottom scoring by quite a lot, and definitely quite a lot of misses as well. So it's somewhat interesting to see that these rumors that have been going around. Well, they haven't really been rumors, but my thoughts about Dusk not really being up to par with his skill level in comparison to the last couple of years I think this could be an indication of a certain weakness on the Chinese roster. I think this is the very first time in this entire World Cup where we've seen China struggling on a map, so high CS hard rock does not seem to be something they feel really comfortable on. Great pick coming from Indonesia, and let's keep in mind, Mixed Mod 3 is CS 6.9 with hard rock, so that might be something that Indonesia wants to look out for as well.
Yeah, definitely the exact way that Indonesia needed to bounce back there, and I'm happy for them, considering how the match kind of started out with that really unlucky disconnect from Netamara. So 100% a confidence booster, and yeah, as you said, maybe exploiting and kind of revealing a tiny bit of a weakness on the Chinese side. Dusk maybe not feeling completely comfortable, hasn't played exactly a lot yet, so I guess we'll see if maybe they can warm up a little bit more and kind of get into the rhythm of this match. But right now, Indonesia is taking the charge on Hard Rock. So let's see if what China can pick, and if they can kind of, despite that Hard Rock kind of mess up, they can.
We see China going for Nomad 3, so another Nomad pick coming in from China. No hidden, no double time. They're known for their hidden, and they're known for their double time. I'm not sure if this is deliberate, as in the maps are too hard and we just do not want to pick them, or they just want to keep the best for last. It's either of those two, but I'm getting a little. This is getting really interesting in my opinion, because there's only one Nomad left, and I would. Like before this match, I would say Indonesia is the team that's going to pick Nomad. I think that's more of their comfort zone. So, yeah, interesting things going on right now. Some hidden strategies we haven't really unfolded just yet. On the other hand, this map is 3 minutes 45 in length, a really technical nomad coverage, right, Mate? So this is absolutely, it's brutal, and it has a lot of really rough patterns to catch. But on the other hand, Crystal and Kovir were, I think, one of the best performing players on a similar technical coverage from last week. So that is looking promising. And Kalyanet has been one of the stronger players on the Chinese side for these first 2 points as well. So still a really good roster coming out from China. On the other hand, Koneko and Tamara and Dika staying in for this Nomad Converse. I can see Tamara going absolutely insane on this one as well.
Yeah, there's definitely a huge possibility here for Indonesia to get their second point going. Yeah, as you said, this map it's pretty rough. It's a very tough map. It's also pretty long. It's almost 4 minutes in like 3 minutes 44. So lots of content coming your way for this. Let's see which team can kind of get their no-mod convert consistency going. The start, however, is pretty chill. Dika doing a little bit of
some dancing there.
A little bit of dancing going on the Indonesian side, but
that is
playing a bit of confidence, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Now the map picks up. The first 2 spinners, there's a spinner trap on both of them, and all players catching the first one. And yeah, this map, it just keeps on giving. It's insane. There's a couple of slow sections, but not many. And Cobra being the first to drop is going to give that early advance towards Indonesia, which has been the case on most of these maps, actually. That Tamar ends up trading one of those, though, so that is going to tie things up, I do believe.
Yeah, scoreline's still pretty even for both teams. No one really budging too hard. He's going to flip over to the Chinese side with that miss from Koneko. And all of the Chinese players actually here are looking pretty confident. Despite that miss from Kovia, has now built up a very nice combo. Dika still holding very strong as well. But Crystal and Kalyanet, Crystal still holding that double S. Kalyanet not holding an FC anymore. I was about to point it out. Yeah, that scoreline, despite a few of those Indonesian misses, is still incredibly close. It's less than 10,000 score for sure. Every player on the Indonesian side above 200, and that's going to give them the advantage back. The Chinese now need Kalyanet to get back over that 200 mark. Going to happen with not too much problems here. But Kovia missing there, so that's going to give an even bigger lead here to the... Oh, well, there's a double miss coming there from the Chinese side, but the Indonesian also finding a double miss as well. Koneko and Kalyanet the only ones with combo right now.
Yeah, all of C's gone. Dika and Crystal were the 2 remaining soldiers, but they end up dropping at the very same section, so slight advantage for Indonesia, but that's less than a miss of difference. I think that's 4,000 points, so this is really, really close. Only a turret left, and this ending section is going to be crucial for both teams. And the spinner trap comes up, but all players do catch it. Wow,
yeah, this is incredibly close.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my god. This is coming down to the wire right now. Which team will remain with that consistency throughout the last part of the map? Will it be Indonesia or China? We will see incredibly shortly. There's only about a quarter of the map left, so still chances for the scoreline to flip. It's only a miss that will give the advantage either way to a side, and it's going to be coming from Kovia on this side of China. All the Indonesian players still holding their combos through this really difficult section in the map, not budging at all. Koneko, I was about to say, above 1,000, but finding a miss, and now that advantage is going to be on the Chinese side here. Slight combo advantage, but yeah, this is incredibly close right now. Indonesia had built up that nice lead, but it's going to flip back over to China, even despite that. Indonesia does not be able to get that advantage right now. The consistency from Koneko kind of falling apart in the last couple seconds of this match. They need a miss from China right now, and it's not going to happen.
I mean, Koneko,
wow.
Look at these misses. 1 miss coming from Dika, 2 miss coming from Tamar, 2 miss from Crystal as well. I mean, Koneko held on for so long for Indonesia, and that very last miss that just switched things over. So unfortunately, completely comparable to what happened yesterday in the France versus Chile matchup as well. I think Eldenal on the Chilean side missed the exact same note, and that's why it switched over as well. And that's heartbreak for Indonesia. because they played so well, and they picked Nomad 2 immediately. I mean, Maizo, our Nomad bracket is gone already. There's no more Nomad left after this, so... But wow, okay. This one is super close, except for that Nomad, I believe that Hardwick one pick, that was really one-sided to be honest, but the other Nomad picks have been so close. And it's interesting to note that both of these teams just keep going to Nomad. They're so competitive on all of these Nomad picks, and they just keep going for it. So interesting to note. About this map, it's a Gem 2 Nomad technical map, 2 minutes 27 in length, AR 9.7. I mean, it's not an easy map whatsoever, and I think in particular the ending is really rough. So the important part is to catch as much as you possibly can in getting sections, build up a huge combo, and then perhaps if you can able to see the end, then obviously I think that tomorrow in particular is someone that's going to be able to see something like that. But it is not an easy ending whatsoever, so we could definitely see a couple of people slip up there.
Yeah, and the wind's coming in for Indonesia now. So that is going to be replacing, I think it is Proneko. Yeah, that is the case. So the win coming in, it seems that the Triple C for China is still happening. No one really feeling, I guess, too tired playing all these Nomad maps in a row, just except that, that one Hard Rock pick. Yeah, this Nomad 2 map, I think it is a really difficult map. The consistency of difficulty through the map, however, I don't think there's really too many sections, obviously, except that end section that is just... I think we're going to see quite a bit of struggling coming from that ending there. But yeah, this map, definitely a lot of difficulty placed in here, and yeah, we really need to see that consistency maintained for both teams here, really. As you said, this whole match has been super close, except for that Hard Rock pick. So let's see if both teams can keep that going and keep this one a really exciting one.
Yeah, definitely. And also interesting to notice the fact that Nomad is now gone after this one, and now we're going to see China have to be picking somewhere else, which is also interesting. But first, Nomad 2 coming up. Indonesia wants to convert this point, and then looking at the 3-2 scoreline, which is still within reach, obviously. We saw Dusk appearing, but then ends up dropping out once again. Tomorrow being the first to drop, some really weird drops actually coming in, but those are in the beginning section of the map that should not matter in the end. Cali that's rating ones, that should switch the events back over in favor of Indonesia. But Dusk ends up dropping out. This is for Crystal, so they were debating on whether or not Crystal should play, but he's going to be playing, and as soon as I say that, though, he's going to be dropping, so only one FC less on the shiny side. Never mind, Toger ends up dropping as well. 2 FCs versus none, and look at that Tamar going, actually cursed that, well, not cursed, catcher dancing rather. The confidence on Indonesia is strong right now, honestly, looking at their platter movements. And no FCs on the shiny side is giving Indonesia about a 60,000 score, but for beautiful forms coming from all three of them.
Yeah, right out the combos for Indonesia are going absolutely crazy. Both the Wind and Dika still holding those double S's, in fact. And the Chinese players have also built up their combo as well, so the advantage not too far in the lead of Indonesia. But yeah, right now on this Indonesian pick, they are looking super comfortable. Still no misses coming from the Indonesian side, but Kelly and Net on the Chinese side is going to drop. So Indonesia's lead is going to extend even further, now up above 80,000 score, I'm pretty sure. There is a couple misses from the Wind there, finally dropping his FC, going to kind of slow their lead back just a little bit here, but Netamaru and Dika both still holding on into this really difficult middle section. Crystal actually also dropping. Here's the break into the 2/3 point of the map. Going to be seeing each other's scores. This is still really close though.
Yeah, Kalina dropping once again. It's going to further increase that lead, and Dika still with the FC actually. Beautiful performance coming in, 40% combo, and Tamar also on the 1 miss right now. Beautiful performance coming from the bottom two on the Indonesian side. Leon building up his combo as well. Everyone above, actually Cal not being above 2-1, so it keeps increasing for Indonesia. Leon instead of drop, they need at least Netmar or Dika to drop as well. The ending section is coming up. Kobe dropping, it's not helping China whatsoever. And this is looking like a really good pick coming from Indonesia. The ending section coming up. Everyone seems to be able to catch it right now. Is Dika going to be able to see this map? Crystal the first to drop, Leon trading, that should not matter. Only an 8 left of the map. Dika does end up dropping the FC, but Cobra trades. Counting the first Netamaru. this should be wrapped for Indonesia. Beautiful pick coming from them. Beautiful points coming from Netamar in particular, but also Dika. And look at that 3-2 scoreline match. So this is, we have the one hell of a match at our hands right now. A lot of misses coming from the shiny side. Leewine also with the 15 miss. Bottom scoring in the lobby, but his teammates Netamar and Dika with the 980,000 score. And China to pick next. But well, Indonesia is looking so competitive today. Beautiful points coming from Netamar and Dika.
Yeah, Netamar obviously having a couple of misses there, but that performance from that consistency of the combo in the end, or really just the complete kind of like past that beginning section all the way through the rest of the map. Incredible performance coming in there from Netamar, and that is going to be, I think, a huge confident booster for the side of Indonesia. And you are probably kind of dreading a little bit at the start with some of those connection issues if you're an Indonesia supporter, but right now they are looking super confident and taking it right to China. They are looking very promising in this, and honestly, this could shape up to be honestly the best match in this weekend so far.
Yeah, I mean, both of these teams seem to be in a league of their own right now with their scoring, and combining that with the fact that they're so evenly matched is creating great content, to be honest. But now, I mean, like we've discussed it a lot, now it's an interesting point because where does China take this? They have no more Nomad left. Do they go for mixed mod? There's still some Nomad in mixed mod, right? So perhaps they go there. China also being known for being a double time team, but they have not really been willing to pick anything from that mod rank. So curious to see. Yeah, relatively taking this actually. I think they can also go for a hidden map, and there we go. They go for hidden 1, so they go for air 9.3 hidden. But let's keep in mind, Indonesia is also a really solid hidden team. So curious to see how this one is going to pan out. Ring Ding Dong getting picked. Map by FB Fluoride. Custom map made for this year's CWC. It's 3 minutes in length, and it just wiggles all over the place. It's wiggle heaven or wiggle hell, depending on how much you like your wiggles.
Yeah, I would say probably more on the wiggle hell side for the majority of players watching this, in my opinion. Definitely wiggle hell for me. You know, strong hidden players like yourself may be having a little bit of an easier time, but obviously for the majority of the people watching, I don't think this would be a very fun map to play. But obviously the Chinese players, they have a super strong hidden roster, so I do think that they will perform exceptionally well, but can't sleep on Indonesia at all. Their roster for hidden is also really strong, so I think that this is going to be going to shape up to be yet another close point. I'm very excited to see how this pans out. Obviously, China, you know, throughout the years they have shown that how dominant they can be on hidden. So let's see if they can kind of continue that dominance. First hidden pick in this match. Who will come out on top? Will we see another really close one, like basically every single point last?
Yeah, the thing is as well, the team that wins this map is going to feel really confident to pick the other hidden as well. So this is basically 2 points on the line. So it's gonna. I'm curious to see how this is gonna go. Interesting to note is that there's no Madoka on the Indonesian side, which is probably their, well, I mean, their main hidden player. Also interesting to note that Netamar is going to be playing hidden. We've seen early advantage for Indonesia on that spinner. But as we said, a lot of wiggles. And I believe the beginning section is really rough and the ending section. The middle section is some, I mean, it's a relatively free combo. We see Lewind actually dropping. Might be Bansholac or might not be. That could give, it is not. So that's going to give you no advantage in favor of China, in fact.
Yeah, China, that little bit of an early advantage and actually going to be extended even more with that miss coming in from Dika. Now Netamar, yet again, the only FC left, or the only kind of nice combo left on the Indonesian side. Dust going to drop as well. Kitakami still holding onto that FC2. The scoreline has extended a little bit in the Chinese favor with that. Also actually still holding a combo advantage too. Lewind having a little bit of a hard time with this. Going to have a break, players are going to be able to see the other team score. Indonesia know that they need to lift right now because China is looking just that little bit more confident, and Lewind is really having a difficult time right now.
Yeah, definitely. Kitakami coming for his first map and just straight up seeing everything up until now. So beautiful performance coming from them. And Netmara on the Indonesian side also looking very confident in this one, but there's already a 100,000 score difference due to the fact that DK and Lewin were really struggling in the beginning section of this map, so they have to step up the game, they have to hope for more misses, but misses coming in from Chinese. Actually, Skovir being the first to drop, never mind, and that's going to give the common advantage in favor of Indonesia, with Lewin ends up trading it immediately, and does get some dropping as well. But they need more misses. This score difference is 2, so I think that's a 3 miss buffer 4. But Kitakami dropping no more full combos left for China, and that's giving Indonesia a way back into this map actually. And thus dropping once more is China just completely falling apart in this middle section of this map actually, and this score gap is decreasing rapidly. Kitakami dropping again. I think Indonesia will be taking the lead actually, and look at that.
It's the break right before.
200
they
points
are
difference.
Like 200 points.
Indonesia is in front.
There we go. Indonesia is now going to be taking that score lead. Another entire team miss coming from the Chinese side. They are absolutely falling apart right now. Every single Indonesian player is way above 200. That is going to be a drop there from the wind, but they have suddenly extended their lead past over 100,000 score right now. Dika and Nanamaru showing absolutely insane performance, hitting all those cross-screen sliders. Dika does finally drop down, but right now the entire Chinese side is having a super hard time. Nanamaru absolutely carrying Indonesia through. Yet again, their lead is already up above 150,000 score now, and I think Nanamaru is going to close this out with an FC and bring Indonesia home, tying the score lead up 3-all. That is an amazing performance coming in from Indonesia right now. And yeah, just China in the last stage of that map having quite a bit of a hard time. I'm not entirely sure what happened there.
China just completely crumbled. I think that's a 300,000 point swing, right? They were ahead by over 100,000. They lose a point by 200,000. That is absolutely insane. Wow, Indonesia is looking so strong right now. Beautiful points from Netmara in particular. FCing this map is not an easy task, and as you said, 3-all. Next big team picks Indonesia, and are they going to go for that Hidden 2? Because, I mean, Hidden 2 is harder than Hidden 1, and if you can beat them on Hidden 1, I think Hidden 2 is also looking kind of spicy, but we'll have to see. But wow, okay, Maito, Indonesia is looking so strong.
Yeah, I mean, this match, we said that it has an entire possibility to shape up to be one of the most exciting matches of the weekend and even of the tournament. Obviously, these two teams are incredibly strong, and they absolutely are bringing the heat to each other right now. Indonesia has kind of come back from those early issues, as I've mentioned, and obviously as you've seen before. And yeah, right now, all tied up 3-3. This match is absolutely incredible right now. What can I guess definitely. We're kind of trying to see what can Indonesia pick to extend their past that tie right now. It could be
Air 90T. In fact, they go for
just realized that they picked. Oops.
Don't worry, Air 90T coming in. So this is the first double time pick we'll be seeing, and it's definitely just stepping into Air 90T immediately. So wow, alright, I'm curious to see how this one's gonna go as well. Netmara is definitely on fire, definitely the best performing player right now. Dika is a really solid double time player himself. I'm not too certain about Kroneko's double time skills, but I would assume Indonesia's not gonna pick this if he doesn't feel comfortable. On the Chinese side, I mean, China used to be the team that would always just pick double time and just beat anyone on it. I myself had to play China on double time 2 years ago. I was not able to get even close. They're just insane at double time. But given the momentum right now in Indonesia, I'm not too certain how China will be feeling. We see Kalyanet coming back in. We see the Triple C staying. So Dusk, I mean, Dusk's performance today has not been on the level that most people would think he would perform on. So that might be the reason as to why he's staying out, because Dusk himself is a really solid double time player as well. So interesting to see. And I'm at the edge of my seat right now. It's 9 a.m. here in Europe. It's 7 UTC. I mean, in the US, they're asleep right now. They're missing the best match of the week, and so all of us are the lucky ones currently. No one choosing Hidden with their double time, so Hidden is allowed for reading purposes, but no one doing so. And I think that is a small advantage for it. Never mind, that should be tied up actually. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, just a little bit of, I think a little bit of banter there coming in there, but nope, never mind. Now there is definitely a Chinese advantage with that first miss finally coming from Nedamaru, so not able to continue his really strong FC streak. Obviously, now there's actually a double miss coming from the side of China, so Indonesia are going to be able to take that advantage back. Nedamaru up, back above 200 combo. The entire rest of the Indonesian team still holding those FCs, and now Crystal drops as well. There is no FCs on the board left for China, so that is going to extend Indonesia's lead even more. Right now, if you're looking at the scores right now, Indonesia's lead is absolutely exponentially growing.
Yeah, one more miss coming from Crystal. Not being above 200 combo is going to further increase it, and Indonesia seems so strong. That's already 100,000 score difference. But we saw last pick that can switch really rapidly, but counter dropping is not going to help that whatsoever. DK Groneko still holding on to the FC. That's more on a one miss. I think Cobra is also on a one miss right now, but his teammates are struggling. Crystal dropping once again, and look at that score bar loading up. Indonesia seems so strong on Air 90. Crystal dropping once again, but there's only a quarter left of this map. This is a really short one, and it takes Indonesia has this one wrapped up already. Dika and Groneko taking this one. Still holding on to the FC. Are they able to bring that FC home, actually? Crystal dropping once more, clearly struggling on Air 9DT. Cobra with a 1 miss. Kalias, I think, on a 2 miss, but that's not something they can contest Indonesia on right now. Koneko with a ends up dropping Dika. Is he going to be able to bring that FC home? I think he is. And Netamar also with a 1 miss. So once again, actually, Netamar with a 2 miss. My apologies, Netamar. I did curse you there. Some miss at the ending coming from Indonesia. Dika ends up finding that finding that FC rather. And that was just, once again, pure dominance coming from Indonesia. And it was so 200,000 score difference. And this map was so, yeah, it was a sprint. And I was completely stumbling over all of my words at the end there. My apologies. We see Callings with a 2 miss, Quilvy with a 1 miss, Crystal with a 9 miss. Crystal definitely struggling on the Chinese side. And 4-3 score for Indonesia. For the very first time this match, Indonesia is in front. And they have all the momentum. They seem the better team at this point. It was really close in the beginning, but this hidden pick backfiring, this harder pick in the beginning also being won by Indonesia by a lot, and now double time. Where does China take their next pick? They can't pick hidden because they lost on it. They can't pick hard because they lost. They can't pick double time because they lost on it. Are they going to go for mixed mod? I mean, wow. All right, man. This is beautiful performance coming from Indonesia, and especially Dika not being able to pull out any FCs just yet until now. Actually, he did FC that first no mod 1 pick. My apologies, but he does end up FCing this one as well. Beautiful performance coming from him.
Yeah, that was a really nice performance there. Indonesia just building even more on their already, I'm sure, increasing confidence right now. And they are moving, yeah, as you said, and I'm sure as everyone can see, Indonesia now in the lead, despite, again, those early things that happened. Indonesia's just looking so confident right now on really everything. China just fumbling a little bit more, and I think that Indonesia absolutely, as you said, have the momentum right now, and their confidence is probably peaking.
Yeah, they call a timeout. I think this is how would you say that? I think this is a really, really important moment in the match, because Indonesia breaks now. They're getting quite close to those 7 points, right? So it's crucial for China to find the right pick, but both of us, we don't really see a pick that seems like a guaranteed win for the Chinese roster. So I'm curious to see where they want to be taking this. I think I honestly want to see Mixed Mod 1 because I love that song so much, which would be great. But I think Mixed Mod 2 is also a beautiful map, so we could definitely see some Mixed Mods coming in. I think Double Time, there was not a lot you can do against such a strong performance from Indonesia, even though, I mean, Double Time 1 is a little lower AR, and then Double Time 3 is, well, there's convert Double Time, so it might be a little different, but not an easy point in the match for China. They have to really think this one through. And we also have to keep in mind that if Indonesia didn't disconnect during that first map, that could have been their point as well. So China, they're in here, but they're trailing behind by quite a lot. Actually, I do feel like definitely in the momentum part. So it's definitely crucial for them to just be able to switch that momentum right now. Indonesia's taking it away. I think it was a 3-1 scoreline for China. Now it's a 3-4 scoreline, so 3 points on the spin coming out of Indonesia. As we're waiting for China to talk this through, we haven't seen Kagame and Rain. I'm not sure if we will be seeing them today either. We haven't seen Madoka, but I don't think he's here. And we haven't seen Urabe Mikoto. Urabe Mikoto is that guy that you put in for a hard rock coverage and he sees it and he's gone. He's that type of guy. And we see Mixmod 3 getting picked. All right, okay. Mixmod 3 is a really niche pick. It is AR 7.5 for Nomad and Hidden, and it is CS 6.9 for Hard. So everyone is going to struggle in the lobby. The Nomad player should have the easiest task ahead of them because the map itself, the patterns aren't that difficult, so it's just the fact that it's lower AR, but they should feel a little confident. On the other hand, though, I mean, China picking high CS Hard Rock, which they struggled on Hard Rock 1 against the Tamar, we have seen that. I'm not too certain if that's the right way to go. Kovir is most likely going to be taking that hidden slot, and he's been really good at Mixmod hidden during the entire tournament, so he probably pull out an FC. Crystal, I assume, is going to go for... Actually, I'm curious to see who's going to be playing what mod, actually. Who's going to be playing Hard Rock and Nomad from China? I was going to say Crystal Hard Rock, but might be Crystal Nomad. I think Lewin is definitely going to be taking a Nomad slot, but then Hidden... Yeah, that should be Vika's territory, I do believe. Or Madoka. If Madoka was here, I think Madoka would have played the Hidden in this map, but it does seem that they're missing for now.
Yeah, and hello, I am back. Sorry for that little intermission there that I had to go leave for something, but yep, back, and I am just seeing this pick now, Mixmod 3. Very excited to see this. Obviously, if you've seen this map previously in any of the other matches, incredibly gimmicky. Obviously, you can see that AR 7.5 going to be a very difficult reading challenge for the hidden players, and that CS 5.3 going to be bumped up way past CS 6. And hard rock players, this is the ultimate kind of precision test. And yeah, as you said, I was listening in just before I came back, and yeah, China not looking just quite as comfortable on that precision hard rock though.
Yeah, we see Cover actually taking the hard rock for the very first time, I believe, in the Chinese mixed map bracket, with Crystal on the Nomad versus Lewin, and then Dika on the Hidden versus Kitakami. Kitakami being a Hidden main for China, so that makes sense. But Cover on the hard rock, I'm not sure if he's able to match Netamar, because Netamar is a brilliant hard rock player himself. It does seem that Dika might be... Okay, never mind, Dika is present. I got a little scared there, given the Nomad 1 incident. Either way, it does seem to be an early advance. Actually, everyone should tie it up. I think everyone is still holding on to a double S, except for Lewin. Actually, it ends up dropping some accuracy, but accuracy should not matter. And Netamar actually finds the first miss. That is going to be a memory jump missed by Netamar, so that might indicate he did not memorize this map. But Cobra had some trading, and that should favor... And Kitakami dropper as well. That's going to favor Indonesia heavily, actually.
Yeah, that is not what China needs right now at all. Lewind now making it past that 200 combo. Dika also absolutely going crazy with this hidden low AR, extremely low AR hidden reading right now. And Netamaru finding another miss there. The lead for Indonesia is there, but it is still incredibly close. China is right on their heels. Any miss from an Indonesian player right now is going to flip that lead right back over to the Chinese side. Here is the first break coming in. Players going to be able to see each other's scores, build a little bit of those nerves, and there we go. So there's a miss from Netamaru and also Lewind. That is going to give China a pretty big advantage right now. All of their players almost up past 200 combo. There we go, Kitakami, the last player to make it to 200 there. I think Lewin and Netamaru found another 2 misses as well, so this is not very good for the side of Indonesia at all.
Yeah, it does seem that Netamaru is not well practiced on this map, I do believe. He missed a couple of memory jumps, which Gover did not, and Gover definitely recovering after that early miss-up. The fact that the Nomad player in the Indonesia miss is also not that great. That's a 48,000 score difference, with 50,000 between Krista and Lewind. And well, on a mixed map like this, you definitely want your Nomad player to FC, but Dika, on the other hand, still wants to see the FC on Hidden, but Kitakami is countering that quite nicely, only on a 1 miss as well. Difference maker is definitely Cover right now with 90,000 score advantage over Netmar, and Netmar dropping once again. That's just not helping Indonesia. Dika dropping no FCs left on the Indonesian side, and actually this pick is it's not backfiring, it's definitely going incredible. My apologies for China, and they seem really, really confident. Then subtracting one of those misses from Deke, but that score is already 200,000 points, and the map is only a quarter left, so but I think they need a complete meltdown coming from Cover and Crystal, which we have seen on the other maps, but it does not seem likely this one. And this pick is seems to be a perfect fit for the Chinese roster. Crystal himself still not to be double as Lee went with the one misread, so only a single miss creating these two, but the difference maker definitely Kobe right now, only in the one miss with the hard work. On C is 6.9 out of all things. Beautiful performance coming from Kobe. We definitely hyped him up quite a few times over the past couple of weekends. He hasn't really shown up today, but this is his time to shine. And beautiful performance coming from China. I think they'll get way over that 3 million barrier. Beautiful performance coming from them, and that's going to be a 4 point on the board for China. 4-4 scoreline. And I do not want to say it out loud, but I mean, tiebreaker hype nights out? Question mark. It's looking likely. Either way, Crystal with a beautiful double S coming in. Crystal Cove with a 1 miss. Kidkai with a 2 miss. Dika ends up beating his counterpart, but then Netamari and Lewin slightly getting beaten themselves. But we see Koneko immediately picking double time 1. So they do how would you say it? A complete mental reset once again. The pick is over, it happens, and they just go for double time 1. And the thing is as well, there's no such map like Mixed Mod 3 anymore in the pool, right? After this, it's going to be a little trickier for China to find a pick, but they do seem relatively confident on Mixed Mod though, so I assume we'll be seeing Mixed Mod 2 after this. But the TT1 coming in, Crowley map AR 8.6, we saw, I believe, 3 FCs this week, 2 from Boros and 1 from Radbot from the Canadian roster as well. Curious to see if we'll be seeing a 4th one, and honestly, looking at these 2 rosters, I think we'll be seeing a 4th and a 5th one even. I think I can see definitely Dika bringing home another double time FC. That's Amaru, but on the other side, Kalyan, that's also seeming really strong this match, so curious to see how this one is going to go.
Yeah, it looks like there might be a player switch out coming from the Chinese side here. I think Kitakami going out and wait, it wasn't? No, it is. Kitakami going out, and I think that it's Kelly and Annette coming in. Oh.
It's going to be Crystal and Dust for that third slot, I think. Okay, Crystal ends up...
It's Crystal, yeah.
The triple Cs once again for Shine. On the other hand, Dika and Tamaru Kaneko, I mean, they had a brilliant performance on double time too, so expecting great things coming from them once again. And this song is so good. I love Lovejoy. I know Crowley loves him as well. I think I've played already 4 or 5 Lovejoy maps by Crowley in various tournaments. He just maps, I think, their entire repertoire, but all of them are so good. So it's great to see. No one choosing Hidden once again. It's interesting to note that there's no Hidden double time enjoyers or Hidden hardwork enjoyers in these lobbies. I believe if Urabe Mikoto was to make an appearance, he would choose Hardwork with Hidden with his Hardwork, not Hardwork with his Hidden. But I'm not sure if he will be making an appearance himself. Early start seems to be won by China slightly. Could be a spinner advantage. I did miss if there was a spinner. I think there was. But everyone is going to get above 200 combo. There's a streaming section coming up soon. I can see. I saw a lot of people missing in previous matches, but everyone seems to be holding on quite nicely. No misses to be seen, and both these countries seem really, really consistent on this.
Yeah, and Indonesia coming off that loss there, they are looking very confident right now on this DT pick. But Netamaru and oh wow, okay, I just cursed the entire Indonesian team. I'm sorry. So there is a whole team miss coming from the side of Indonesia, despite that really confident DT pick before. China is looking like the better team on DT right now, and yeah, Indonesia just a really unfortunate couple misses coming from every single one of their players there. The lead on this side of China is around 100,000 score. The Indonesian team has recovered now, all of them past 200 combo, but right now the entire Chinese team is still holding 3 FCs, so Indonesia need at least a couple of them to break to really have any sort of chance of coming back into this match right now. There is that first drop from Crystal, so that is a start, but they need more than that. The lead for China right now is just much too far, and that is not what Indonesia needs. There's a drop coming from Koneko. China still holding 2 FCs through Kovia and Kellyanet. There's that break in the 2/3. They're going to be able to see each other's scores. That is going to build nerves. Absolutely. You can see that lead there has paused 100,000 score or so, but going to extend with that combo advantage coming from China. Kovia and Kellyanet now past 1,000 combo as well, still holding onto those FCs. Netamaru and
Dika both having some nice combos too, but they need those drops from China right now. That is going to be one from Crystal, but they need an FC drop from either Kovir and Kellyanette, and that lead is just not looking very nice for Indonesia right now. China is just looking too consistent and confident on this DT pick. Yeah, and I think that only a little bit of the map left. I think China is probably going to be able to take this one.
Yeah, China has this one wrapped up. I mean, only singular misses coming in. Actually, Koneko with a couple of misses himself, but singular misses on Nitmara and Dika. But Kovir and Kali is able to see this map and beautiful performance. And we see that fourth and that fifth FC coming out, but those two of them are coming out of China. And that's China breaking Indonesia on this double time one pick, 100,000 score difference. And I mean, the China seemed a little shaky a couple of maps ago, but this is a pure dominant performance. So beautiful coming in out of China. And that's going to give them a breakpoint buffer, but they have to confirm that breakpoint now, right? It's their pick, and I'm curious to see where they want to be taking this. There's still Hard with 3 left, there's Hidden 2 left, there is Double Time 3 and 4 left, and there's Mixed Mod 1 and 2 left. So quite a variety of picks, but not too certain where China want to be. They have to think this through once again. Because this match has been really, really close, and the wrong pick can definitely backfire. But yeah, I mean, we saw China completely collapsing on Hidden 1. We saw them getting destroyed on Double Time 2, but then on this Double Time 1, they were the kings. They took it home. And Kalyan and Kovir, the two of them they've been performing really, really well, actually. So props to them.
Yeah, Indonesia and China are both they are both looking incredibly confident right now. Yeah, I think that there is absolutely, we did hint at it a little bit before, but there is absolutely a chance for a tiebreak. So yeah, definitely a little bit of tiebreak hypes creeping up in everyone's hearts right now. There is absolutely a chance for that to happen, considering how confident Indonesia is looking right now. China looking maybe a little bit shakier, but obviously with that DT pick and those two FCs coming from Kovir and Kellyanette, they've definitely built that confidence back a little bit more after those kind of stream of Indonesian wins there. So yeah, going to be interesting to see how they go with this next pick. I'm not sure what they'll go for. There's still another hidden map left to choose, but yeah, I'm not entirely sure.
They go for Double Time 4, actually, so they are going to go for the other lower ARDT pick. And, well, yeah, so staying out of another curveball, right? Staying out of Mixed Mod, staying out of that hidden bracket again, not wanting to risk it. And, oh yeah, they go for Double Time 4. The map is Air 8.4. And oh yeah, it's a converted difficulty, but I think it's the easiest map out of the double time pool, and it's mostly about consistency. And I think that Amaru and Dika and Kellyanette have been the 3 most consistent players, so that would give the advantage towards Indonesia for now. But then again, that double performance from Kovir and Kellyanette on double time 1 is making things very, very interesting. But once again, we see the triple C coming out for China. So no Dusk's completely staying out from most of these picks, actually. And then Indonesia on the other side, Deacon and Tamaru staying in Koneko as well. For Double Time 4, and we're getting things started quickly, actually. So there we go. 5-4 scoreline China. They want to confirm this break point to get to match points. Indonesia want to break them to get back to a 5-5 scoreline.
Yeah, right now, Indonesia, they are down just a little bit here. It is 5-4. Still lots of chance for them to come back. The map pool has definitely dwindled in terms of chances, or I guess maps to pick. But yeah, out of the gates, this map, not too many, or basically none, or really none at all. No misses or anything weird of the sorts coming from either side. Everyone seeming to make it pretty comfortably past 200 combo. Yep, there it is. No one finding a single miss. Oh no, but there's a miss from Nanamaru, so China's advantage is going to be extending out early, but obviously not too much. That early miss is not going to have a huge effect. Considering this map is 3 minutes long, there's still lots of chances for Indonesia.
Yeah, really weirdness coming out of Netamara and Koneko dropping as well. That's 2 minutes advance in favor of China. Only one play holding on to the double S Kofi. I wanted to comment on the fact that the droplets are really rough on this map, and we can see that a lot of people have dropped at least a couple of droplets. But that's a 2 minutes advance for China. It's quite comparable to that previous double time pick where they also were able to get in very early advance and just capitalize on Koneko having a really weird miss in the slow section that's not helping Indonesia. 3 miss lead for China, and they're running away with it. Getting close to the halfway point of this pick and still holding on to a triple FC actually. China, beautiful points coming from Canada, Crystal and Govir.
Yeah, all of those players looking really confident right now. Just a little bit less of a consistent performance coming from the Indonesian side. Kalinet, though, is going to go down. Going to give Indonesia a little bit of hope, but oh no, traded right back by Dika there. So definitely Indonesia needed to kind of get that consistency back up for this DT pick, and that is not what's happening right now. China's lead is out to about 100,000 score. Still those two FCs coming in from Kovia and Crystal. Netamaru also a nice performance too, still holding a very nice combo, but needs the entire rest of his team to kind of lift and maintain that consistency, and it's not what's happening right now. They need a couple of misses also coming in from China too. But Kovia and Crystal are just looking so confident. Now there's a miss from Kroneko as well, and that is going to extend China's lead even further. A couple of misses actually coming in there for Kroneko. China and Krovia and Crystal almost past 1,000 combo with these SCs. Kroneko dropping again, actually kind of struggling coming into the last little section of this map, and yeah, China's just looking to be absolutely running away with this.
Yeah, once again, a double FC coming in from Govir and Crystal. So beautiful performance from China. And Govir especially stepping up when China needs him to. And this map's coming to an end, and I don't think there's enough time for Nico dropping once more than Tamari. That's a little miscoming from Indonesia, and that's going to wrap things up in favor of China. And they're going to go to match point, in fact. So when China was looking really sketchy in the beginning of this match, where they were not able to at least in the middle of the match, we're not able to get any points on the board. Now they're just running it away with a 6-4 scoreline, and Indonesia have to really think this next pick through. But that is the double time powerhouse. That is China. Double FC coming in on a 1 miss. Nothing Indonesia could have done there, sadly. Really, actually,
yeah, right now, Indonesia's under so much pressure.
Yeah, Indonesia really have to think this one through. They have to win their own pick, and then they have to hope for a breakpoint on China's pick and then win the tiebreaker as well. So it's not an easy task for Indonesia. But they have shown some really great things. We'd have to think this pick through, right? They can still go for Hard Rock 3, but Convert Hard Rock, not the easiest. They can go for Hidden 2, but China is a really good Hidden team. They can go for Mixed Mod, and I think they'll go for Mixed Mod. I think that Mixed Mod 1, I think that Tamar can pull out the Hard Rock FC, Dika can pull out a Hidden FC, and then Lewin can pull out a Nomen FC, for example. So I think Mixed Mod 1 is the way to go for Indonesia. But we'll see where they want to take this.
Yeah, I think Indonesia is under a huge amount of pressure right now. China, yeah, despite, as you said, despite that kind of middle section where Indonesia was looking really confident, China has now won 3 picks in a row to take it to match point. They have 2 of those right now. Indonesia needs to just lift and get that consistency going. This pick is incredibly important for them to not be sent down to that losers bracket. Obviously, not going home, which is a bit of a nice thing to think about, but you know, you want to perform as well as you can, and I think they've definitely performed super well. And it looks like there is going to be a pick. Yeah, here we go. So Mixed Mod 1. That is definitely an interesting one. This is an interesting map. It's pretty long, and yeah, it's probably the most, I think, normal map for on the Mixed Mod side. I'm not entirely sure, but I'd say that.
Yeah. I think they did listen to me, which I really like. We see Dika being on the hidden, that's Warren Hart and Lewin on the Nomad. I think this is by far Indonesia's safest pick. And safe is obviously relative, because China is going to pull out a really strong roster as well. But this map is a consistency test, and I think it's primarily difficult on the hard rock in the slower sections. There's some really rough slow sections. The fast-paced sections are relatively easy with hard rock, actually. They just flow really nicely. The hardest section just feels nice to play and fits the music quite nicely. And also this music it's a banger. So to add on to that, it just makes for a beautiful map from Yumeno Himiko. Okay, wow, I butchered that name, my apologies. But we see Kali, the Crystal, the Triple C, so no more Dusk. I don't think we'll be seeing Dusk anymore in this match, rather, unless China goes for hidden 2 if they were to lose this pick. China match points. Indonesia wanna wanna win their own pick. And we see Kovi facing off Dika, we see Netamara facing off Crystal, and then Kalyan versus it might be a disconnection actually coming from Lewin, so we might have to see an abort coming in from the referee.
Yeah, it does look like that is the case. There's going to be a little bit of a shaky start to possibly the last pick, the last point of this match. Indonesia under huge amounts of pressure right now. Yeah, it looks like, Lewind did have an unfortunate disconnect there. Luckily not in the middle of the match, which would have been an absolute disaster on the Indonesian side. They don't want another disconnect ruining their chances in this match. It is really, they need this point. They need to win it, otherwise they're losing the match. So, I mean, I just can't imagine. There's probably so much pressure building on their side right now.
Yeah, definitely. Gotta hope for Lewin to come back. Luckily, I mean, the timing of the DC was perfect. So, that's just perfect for Indonesia. Thank goodness it was not in the middle of the map like the tomorrow no matter what. So we can just start things over again on Mixbot 1, and we can enjoy listening to this song even longer, which makes me a very happy man.
Yeah, looks like, I think Lewind is... Yep, there we go. So Lewind is back into the lobby. All 3 of the Indonesian players are ready to go. Obviously that Triple C still maintaining for quite a few maps now. Just seeming to really be building their own confidence. Obviously this Chinese side is incredibly strong. They have a ton of stamina to just keep playing these maps over and over, not needing too many switch out from many of their players. But here we go into possibly the final point of this match. Can Indonesia save that match point, or will China bring it home 7-4? We will see in not too long.
Yeah, Kalyan facing off versus Lewind on the Nomad, Crystal versus Netamara on the Hardwick, and Kovi versus Dika on the Hidden. All 3 on both sides are just specialists in whatever they're playing right now, so definitely looking forward to this one. Things to look out for are the slower sections on Hard Rock. I think that's going to be the hardest part, and perhaps the intense sections on Hidden. I can imagine them being not the easiest. The nerves are going to be quite high on the Indonesian side, so we have to keep that in mind as well. They're facing 3 match points, but this is their pick, their point to lose. Mixed Mod 1 coming in. Kalyan being the first drop on the Nomad, actually interesting to drop, and that's going to give a 1 miss buffer towards Indonesia. This is one of those slower sections. Definitely look out for the harder players. I do not want to curse them, but this is a part where I can definitely see one of them miss. And Netamar being the one to drop, that's not what Indonesia wants. It's going to switch, and double miss coming from Indonesia, and that's going to give the advantage back over to China. So holding on to 2 FCs, 1 on the Hardwick and 1 on the Hidden.
Yeah, right now China's advantage is increasing. There's another miss coming in there from Lewind as well. So right now, all of the Chinese players also above 200 combo. Netamari and Lewind just trying to get back up there. Dika, the only FC left on the side of Indonesia, absolutely carrying their score currently. Netamari is back over that 200 mark. There's going to be a miss from Kelly, and that's traded right back by Lewind though, so that advantage for Indonesia is not going to be increasing whatsoever. Kovia and Crystal both still holding on to those FCs. Dika also maintaining his FC, and Indonesia above 200, but right now Lewind is really struggling a bit more than the rest of the field here, and China's advantage is just increasing that little bit more throughout this map. And can Indonesia bring it back? Can they get some misses from the Chinese side and get that combo consistency going, or will China close it out? Let's see.
Yeah, this is one of those hardest sections coming up right now. We have a 2-miss lead in favor of China. I think Lewin's actually 1 drop, so it's going to let the Mar dropping. Indonesia slightly crumbling apart. Dika doing everything he can. Corey trading once though, but Lewin is and Dika dropping as well. That's a triple miss coming from Indonesia, and Crystal right now still on the FC on the hard rock. 1,000 combo and counting, and that's a 150,000 score because they need so more. They need so many misses coming out of China. Indonesia slightly just falling apart in the latter stages of this map. A third left.
Yeah, right now Crystal's FC is absolutely just carrying China through, despite those couple misses that came
from Korea there. The Indonesian siders are not able to be as consistent from the side of China, and their lead on the Chinese side is just much too much, and they are going to be able to close this one out. Indonesia, unfortunately, not able to bring that second next mod pick into their hands, and China carried, or at least definitely aided a lot by that Crystal SC. It looks like if they can just maintain a little bit longer, Crystal is going to close this one out with an FC, which is a really impressive performance coming in here.
Yeah, beautiful performance coming in from Crystal, and that's going to be it for Indonesia, losing this match 7-4. But they fought so very well, and FC from Crystal, beautiful performance coming from Crystal on this last pick. And there were opportunities on this one as well, but China just a tad bit more consistent, and that's going to be it. China taking this one home 7-4, and well, yeah, there was not a lot that Indonesia could have done in this last pick, but it's really unfortunate coming from Indonesia because they were so competitive throughout this entire match. But well, Chris, actually, China has top 3 guaranteed, so big congratulations to them. They're definitely on the podium for now. They're going to be facing off the winner of United States versus South Korea, so we are going to get a really spicy clash in the winner bracket finals. And Indonesia is dropping down to the loser bracket. I'm not too certain which team they'll be facing, actually. I think it might be France. I'll have to quickly grab onto the bracket myself. They will be facing off the winner of Canada-Italy, which will be going on later on today. We see your winners on screen. Kagamani Rin not shown today. Does Crystal Kai, Kovi, and Kitakami. China top 3 once again, coming back from a kind of rough year last year to finish in the top 3 this year. Beautiful points coming from them. But Indonesia, honestly, they were really strong, and I think a lot of people did not expect Indonesia to be this strong, and there were so many opportunities for them to take this one, I do believe. But China just put their foot on the gas, definitely on those last 3 picks, right? Double time 1, double time 4, mixed mod 1. Those were just clear victories by China, and that's going to be a 7-4 scoreline for the Chinese roster, and Indonesia just dropping down to the loser bracket. But as we said already, they still have a second chance. And yeah, now we can see the schedule, and in about 7 hours from now, 5 hours from now rather, we have Korea versus South Korea versus United States, which is our second winner bracket semifinals match. And then at the end of the day, Canada versus Italy to decide which team will be joining China, Indonesia, France, Korea, and USA in the top 6. So definitely a lot to look out for. Maito, it has been a pleasure once again, always, the two of us being the early birds in the commentary booth, getting to cast these early Asian matchups, which is always nice to do so. Once again, it was a blast, and I think both of us had one hell of a match to cast. Everyone, do come back in about 5 hours from now, so we have quite a long break coming up for all of you. That's the thing with these latter stages of the tournament. There's quite a few longer breaks between matches, given how there's just less matches happening in an entire week, right? But South Korea versus United States, definitely one you want to see as well. The winner of that match is top 3 guaranteed as well. All right, everyone, that's it for us from now for today. Take care, have some rest, have some lunch, do study some bit, because a couple of you will have exams, and well, just take care. Maito, once again, pleasure with you casting. I was Quinton, I was here with Maito, and we'll be signing off. Ladies, everyone.
See you later. Have a good night or day, depending on where you are. And also get a banner.